Good day, guys. This is Dr. Abdullahi, or you call it Abu Hanifa, the CEO of the Criterion Medical of our home. We welcome you guys to our new edition, new episode on Health Watch on News Bostang NJTV. And if this is your first time watching our video, so we encourage you to subscribe to our channel, to like our videos and share to your friends and family. Let them benefit from the wealth of knowledge which we are unleashing on the program. Last week, we discussed on female infertility, and that was the second part of the infertility discussion. We discussed on the male infertility, the causes, and how to correct it. That was upper week. And last week, we focused mainly on female infertility, the causes, and all what you need to know about it, and how you can correct it also. So in case if you have issues regarding infertility, I encourage you to check the past video which we did on infertility, and I believe you're gonna gain a whole lot of knowledge from it. So today, we want to discuss on pathogens and how they affect the body and how we can get free and get better from them. When we hear the word pathogen, what first comes to your mind? Pathogen simply means disease-causing agents. Disease-causing agents, and they are broadly divided into 4 different aspects. Most of the diseases you see out there, they are due to pathogenetical disorders, and it's either they are fungal infections, viral infections, bacterial infections, or parasitic infections. So this mainly means that agents, or let me say some microorganisms that are not part of the body, invading the body to cause some kind of disorder, disability, and some kind of diseases in the body. So this is what we mean by pathogen. It means that the condition, the disease, is not coming from the body; it's coming from an external, being, an external creature, which is a microorganism. Most of the time, because it can also be microorganism, but most of the time, pathogens are majorly microorganisms, meaning they are not visible to the naked eye. So they now invade the body and entering into the body cells, entering into the body tissues and organ, and causes some kind of disease in the body. So we said we have 4 different types of pathogen: virus, bacteria, fungal, and parasites. Now, these conditions, what are the viral infections, and what are the bacterial infections, and what are the parasitic infections, and what are the fungal infections? So viral infections are quite very common, or let me say very, very common, and they include like HIV, they include like Ebola virus, like the human papilloman virus, like the hepatitis virus, a whole lot of these kinds of common, like even the COVID-19, that's SARS-CoV-2. So it's also a kind of viral infection. The flu, the common flu, is also a viral infection. Meningitis can also be viral infection or bacterial infection. So these are the common types of viral infection. And for the bacterial infection, we have a whole lot of bacterial infections out there. So we have like the typhoid, the Salmonella typhi, which is the causative agent behind typhoid. And we also have the Streptococcus, we have the Staphylococcus aureus, we have the E. coli, we have the Klebsiella pneumonia, we have the Neisseria gonorrhea, and a whole lot of these similar conditions are also bacterial infections. And for the parasitic infection, the most common, let me say the most popular parasitic infection is malaria, which is being caused by the malaria parasite, which is being is being infected into the body by the female Anopheles mosquito. So the malaria is a parasitic infection, and for the fungal infection, we have some like the Candida albicans is a kind of fungal infection, and the likes. So how do we get infected with these pathogens? We are trying to discuss on, generally how one gets infected with them and how we can get, how we can avoid them. And if we're already having them, how do we manage? Because some of these conditions can only be managed, while some can be fully cured. Are you getting it? So how do we manage these conditions? How do we cure this condition in case it is curative? And how, the basic knowledge we need to know about them, because we are trying to manage time and trying to cover a whole lot of things. So how do one get infected with these pathogenetical disorders? Firstly, as we said, that these are majorly microorganisms. They are microorganisms, meaning that they are not visible to the naked eye except with the aid of microscope or with any other instruments that would, enlarge, make easy the viewing of the organism. So because of the fact that they are majorly not visible to the naked eye, it is almost impossible to avoid them. It's not possible, no matter your level of hygiene. It's not possible to avoid them in the totality, and that's due to the fact that we owe things, we handle things, you eat, there is no way you drink. So, and these things are they are in billions, they are in uncountable, anywhere, everywhere. So there's high chance that we get exposed to some of these pathogens at one point of the time. But majorly, like as a case study, like look at the COVID-19 as a case study. So it's though the theory behind how it's spreaded is not very clear, not very sure, because there are different theories regarding the fact that some said it started in the Wuhan in the Hubei province in Wuhan, China. So that's due to some animals like pangolins and rats and snakes and others, that those consuming these animals, so they got the virus from these animals, and it starts spreading because it is highly infectious and highly contagious. So that's the major theory behind it. To other bacteria like virus like Ebola virus, the theory behind it was that it was a bat. That's bats are the ones that are like the carrier. They are the carrier of the Ebola virus, and those living in the rural area in Liberia, in Sierra Leone. So they are the ones that they got in contact with these bats. They ate the bats, or let's say some said the bats, they ate some fruits, and some animals in the jungles like monkeys, like gorillas, they ate those fruits and they got infected with the Ebola virus. And people, the hunters, they went to the bush to hunt for these games, and on killing them, they did not process them well, so they also contact the Ebola virus from them. So there are different theories behind it, because you can't just trying to join the link, like where exactly is this thing coming from. Initially there's nothing like Ebola virus, then suddenly it came, like for the HIV, like case study of HIV, it was believed that it was from the dogs and other animals. Some said people having sexual intercourse with animals, with dogs, so they got the viral infection from the dog, then from human to human transmission and the likes. But generally what we know is that these pathogens, they live in the society, they live in the environment, they are everywhere, and not all of them are contagious, not all of them are infectious. In fact, we need them. We need them. Digestion won't be made possible, won't be made easy if there is no presence of some certain bacteria. Yes, not all bacteria, not all virus, not all bacteria, not all fungi, not all pathogens generally can cause harm to the body. But what we are basing our discussion on is on those ones that affect the the normal functioning of the body and cause the body to be in a diseased state. So it's majorly due to maybe what we consume, especially for those consuming food without adequately processing the foods. So like getting a raw fruit without processing it adequately. There is high chance. I watched a video some weeks ago, let me say some months ago. So the scientist, he took some fruits and he put them under the microscope, and it was with the microscope it shows we have a much more better view of the fruit. So what was moving on with the microscope, we're able to see that there are a lot of creatures, a lot of microorganisms moving year in, day out on that particular fruit. It was apple as a case study. The man used apple. So with the microscope, there is presence of so many, pathogens on fruits, like with the case study of what the man did. So we're like, so look at just getting this fruit and just consuming it. A lot of people look at hepatitis as a case study. In Nigeria alone, it is estimated that more than 30 million of 30 millions of Nigeria having hepatitis. And someone is like, how is it spreading? Yes, it will spread because it is highly contagious, it is highly infectious. And if someone is having it, the person, touches, for a case, as a case study, the person have a direct contact with the food that you want to consume, and you just take the food from the person, without adequately washing it, and you take it to your mouth immediately and you consume it, there is high chances that the strain of the hepatitis which is in the person, you've also get infected with it. Are you getting it? Not all infection, not all pathogens are sexually transmitted. Like the mistake most people make, like, I'm having hepatitis, I never had sex with someone having it. I'm having staphylococcus, I'm a virgin. No, it doesn't mean, because there are different modes of transmission, not just through sexual intercourse. Some pathogens are airborne. Airborne meaning like COVID-19 as a case study is an airborne infection. Someone having it sneeze or tuberculosis. So someone having it, if he or she sneezes, so there is high chances that the person nearby can get infected with it if the person inhale that diseased, the diseased carbon dioxide that comes out from the person. So it's because it's airborne. So you can feel like, but I'm very, I'm trying to be very cautious of myself. I'm trying to be very, to take care of myself. But that's why you just have to take care of the immune system. We're still gonna get there, inshallah. So because there is almost no way to avoid it. If one is having hepatitis as a case study and you've like, but I did not do this, I know this, it's because of the environment. Are you getting it? So we get in contact with these pathogens generally due to, our daily activities, those we meet on daily basis, what we eat, how we process our foods, what we drink. There are some pathogens that are waterborne diseases, like the cholera, like the typhoid. So like the malaria parasite also can be in water. They can like imagine like in the in the rural areas, some people go to the stream and they defecate there. So someone that defecates in the water where people are using publicly. So for such person, if the person is having, unlikely the person will be having some kind of pathogenetical disorders. So the person excreting out and some strains of the infection, mixed with the water, and you just you saw the water as being clean. Meanwhile, there have been some mixed up with some with someone's defecates, as in someone have defecated in around that region or something similar. So you just take the water. Maybe you went to use it to cook, or you even maybe use it to do ablution, or you just use it to wash your eyes. Maybe you are coming from the field. Like, I'm just using that as a case study, please. It doesn't mean that's not the only way of getting it. There are different ways, but just bringing the common ways to which one gets exposed to this. So, like, you are coming from the field, you pass by the stream, you took some water to wash your eyes, and this water have been, exposed to some different strains of pathogens. So there's high chance, because if these pathogen, the way they enter the body mostly is through fluidy parts of the body. There are some parts of the body that have entrances, like the eye, like the nose, like the ear, like the anus, like the genitals. So these are entrances that's like the mouth, even that's the most common. That's the most common way of the mouth and the sex organ. So those are the most two common ways of having these infections. Maybe through food you put in your mouth, maybe through you put your hand on something that someone infected earlier have gotten in contact with, and you use that same hand to pick your bread, and you use that same hand to take the bread to the mouth. There is high chance that you can get infected with the same infection. The person that touched that item that you touch, you can get infected with it. Yes, you can get infected with it. And that is why during the time of COVID-19, after taking the person that is infected with COVID-19 to the isolation center, one of what the government agencies in charge of the health, what they do is that they go to the area and they fumigate that person's immediate environment. Because since the person is tested positive for the COVID-19 or any infection generally, so there is high chance that strains of such infection will be in the person's environment because they are microorganisms and they are also living organisms. So it is when you see mosquito, you're like, I kill them because you saw it. Are you getting it? You see bed bug, that's why you use mat and you use your broom to eat it. But imagine a pathogen, a viral infection, a bacterial infection you're not even seeing. So how do you want to kill it? So that's why they take the fumigators, they go there with some chemicals to fumigate that environment so that any strains of the pathogen in that environment will be killed. So now we've tried to just discuss generally, and if you get exposed to a kind of pathogen disorder, pathogen infection, like maybe a virus or a bacteria, the first thing when it enters your body, if you are not having an underlying health issue that have make your immune system to be compromised. If your immune system is not compromised, if you're being exposed to maybe streptococcus, staphylococcus, E. coli, hepatitis, whatever you have it. So if this invader invades your body, the first thing your body do is, you have what we call the immune system, which is the body defense mechanism. The immune system is the body defense mechanism. It is the soldier that is meant to, to preserve your body and prevent external invaders from, causing some kind of havoc on your health. So, when these antigen, when they come into your body, there are some cells like the T cells, the B cells, and other immune system cells. So we call them the leukocytes generally. So they release some antibodies, create some antibodies for the kind of pathogen that comes in, and try to fight it off, and there's some kind of antigen-antibody reaction. So when you are exposed to some pathogen, your body, that's why if you have malaria, you can see that immediately you have malaria, like some few days or few weeks, depending on your kind of, on the kind of immunity you have, you will start showing symptoms. You can be having running temperature, you can be having severe headache, you can be having, be shivering, be having cold, be having, and the likes. So what's caused this reaction? The major cause of this reaction is the fact that there is antigen-antibody reaction. Let me simplify this. If you are exposed to a pathogen, the pathogen enters your body releases antibodies to fight against the pathogen, that is against the antigen that came in. So the battle, let me use the layman term. So the battle between the antigen and the antibody will cause some kind of reaction. And this reaction is what will make you to be feeling, to be running temperature, to be having, high fever, to be shivering. It is due to the fact that your body is trying to eliminate, or let me say reduce the pathogen that came in. So you having high temperature is a good sign. Yes, having high temperature is a good sign, simply because it means that your immune system is working, number one, and it also means because if you're having high temperature, it makes the internal environment to be not to be conducive for the pathogen to thrive and reproduce. Because whenever a pathogen is being, you're being exposed to some pathogen, the pathogen will multiply. We multiply 2, 4 in twos, like as in double. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and the likes. So they multiply in double. But if there is antigen-antibody reaction, that if your antibody is fighting against those, the pathogen you are being exposed to, so amongst the reaction you have this high temperature. You'll be feeling that fever, and feeling the fever will make it, because this pathogen generally they are how will I say it? They don't feel conducive in a kind of hot environment. They don't feel good in kind of hot environment. They are reactive to hot temperatures. So if your body, if you are feeling hot, it means that your immune system is trying to make your internal environment inconducive for the pathogen, so that as soon as possible you can get free from them. And the immune system does not mean you won't fall sick. It doesn't mean that you won't have symptoms of the pathogen that you get exposed to, because the function of the immune system is to prevent the pathogen from getting to vital organs. The function of the immune system is to make sure that the pathogen does not does not pass that region that it is and tries to kill it off. But there can be some damages that might have happened during the entering of the pathogen, and that can bring some other reactions. But it doesn't mean that my immune system is high, then I won't fall sick. No, you might have a good immune system and still fall sick, because falling sick, that the function of the purpose of the immune system is to make sure that the internal environment is not conducive for that pathogen, and to fight it off, to eradicate it, if possible to eradicate it in the totality, or at least to reduce it to a very minimal level so that it won't affect your vital organs. So now we've discussed on how the immune system works, and also there are some pathogens that if one is exposed to them, the body will create some kind of memory cells. They're what we call memory cell, like the T cell and the B cell will create some memory about that particular pathogen, that next time if the person is about to be infected, or let me say is about to be infected with the same particular pathogen, let's say for example like chickenpox or measles as a case study, if one is exposed to measles or meningitis, it's almost not possible to get infected twice, simply because that's one time that you've gotten infected with it initially, you will fall sick, you will have symptoms, your body will even, some people can even die along the line. But if you are able to defeat it, if your immune system is able to defeat that particular pathogen, you are able to get back on feet, your immune system will create a memory cell against it, so that next time if maybe meningitis or measles or chickenpox or the normal flu is about to come into your body again, your immune system will immediately remembers it, and it will send the appropriate antibodies that go to such location. I can sense that pathogen we fought then is about to come in again. So before it even starts, affecting the body, causing some kind of havoc to the body, the immune system would have gotten there and just go back. So send it back out. So like the Bible say, so these are generally how pathogen works. This is how one gets infected with it. Some pathogens are like sexually transmitted, like the Neisseria gonorrhea, like the Staphylococcus, like E. coli and the likes. So this does not mean that everyone having them, maybe the person is having, even someone might have not been exposed to any sexual experience and still be having these STIs. Yes, it happens like that. So, but generally what it means is that if one is having an STI, it means that the pathogen came in through the sexual organ, maybe through the penis or through the female vagina, and this happens most in females. It happens most in female, and this is due to the fact that there are many factors that make the female much more prone to having infections, due to the fact that the location of their vagina, their vagina, if they want to pee on the toilet as a case study, so opening the lab, or some will even sit down on the toilet. So while peeing, some of the pee, and the toilets, especially a public toilet, that it's not only you that you are using it. So while peeing, some of your pee will, when you are like pouring water, some will bounce back. So there'll be splash of the what is in the toilet will splash back to you, and if that gets to your vagina or to your vulva, so it can walk in through the vagina and down to your reproductive organ and cause some kind of infection there. And if it enters through the vulva, that is, it is going through the urinary tract, and you'll be having urinary tract infection. We will discuss that later in our other episodes, other discussion regarding the pathogen. So that's how one gets infected with this pathogen infection. So what I want to recommend now is, how do we improve our immune system? Because no matter the pathogen you are having, maybe maybe viral, maybe fungal, maybe bacteria, maybe parasitic infections, pathogenic infections, in as much your immune system is not compromised, you are not having any major underlying health issue that the immune system is already battling with. Imagine someone that is having HIV as a case study, the immune system is already battling that, then the person also gets infected with the hepatitis B virus, the immune system is fighting that again, then the person gets infected with an autoimmune disorder like type 1 diabetes. The immune system is trying to rectify that, and you're also using immunosuppressants to tackle that. The person gets exposed to COVID-19 again, so you can see that the immune system has been compromised because it's dealing with so many things at a particular time. But in as much the person is healthy, and we do say that exercise is it's a all in all. If you ever say gbogbo nise, exercise should be given such name, because exercise assists you in all ramifications. It helps to improve your immune system. It helps to improve your your strength. It helps to improve everything about you. It assists your heart, it assists the heart to function well. It assists the veins and arteries, and it prevents coagulation of fatty substance in the arteries. Exercise works perfectly well to improve the immune system. It assists the immune system, because immune systems are like soldiers. They are even soldiers, not even like soldiers. They are the body defense mechanism. So you want your soldiers to be gallant. You want them to work well whenever you are being exposed to any pathogen, because there is almost no way you can avoid it. You can't avoid it. So you just have to make sure that you are gallant, so that whenever you are being exposed to these pathogens, your immune system can also face them gallantly. So exercise very well, and there are some herbs and roots and fruits and seeds that we can take to boost our immune system, like the garlic, like the ginger, like the lemon tea, like the fenugreek, like the mint. Mint leaf is also very good to help to boost the immune system. Cayenne pepper is very, very great to boost the immune system. There are so many fruits. Like the cucumbers. So I don't want to make mention of some regimen like add this and this. I've laid down some some basics. Fruits generally assist to improve the immune system, especially fruits or foods having vitamin K, like these green leaves, like the green leaf, the cabbage, the broccoli, the lettuce, cucumbers. So they are very spinach, water leaf. So the Peperomia pellucida, that's what's the English name of Peperomia pellucida? You might call it ewe rinrin or efo according to some. So these are very, very beneficial to assist you to boost your immune system. So you take this on a regular basis. You try to be as hygienic as possible. You wash your hands before taking your food to the mouth. You wash your food also very well. You make sure that you process your food to the whatever meant to be cooked, make sure that you cook them well. And what is not meant to be cooked, like maybe apple, at least you make sure you wash them well. And also, if you have contact with surfaces that are publicly used by everyone and anyone, make sure you wash your hands before taking your hand to your eye or to your mouth or to your nose, or even to to wash your private part, because these are one of those silly ways one gets exposed to this pathogen infection. So I hope you've gained something. I hope you've learned something from today's episode of Health Watch on News Bostang NGTV. And also, if you're just joining us, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to like our videos and share to your family, with your family and friends. And also, I want to use this opportunity to make an announcement to those that are interested in learning natural medicine. If you're interested in learning natural medicine, you want to learn about how to take care of health conditions with the God's gift in nature, with herbs and fruits and roots. We want to understand ailments and diseases, how to make proper diagnoses, how to take care of health conditions generally. The Criterion Tradimedical Our Home, we just launched a 2 years intensive live training. It's a live training, meaning those that are interested, we expect them to come down to our location in Oyo, that's Iseyin, Oyo State. That will be the location of teaching. So we have our hostel there, and we'll be teaching them there different sciences that has to do with health-related, courses like nutrition, like moxibustion, like acupuncture, like coping, like naturopathy, medical sciences and the likes. So, and we have expert hands to take care of these courses. So if you're interested generally, maybe, and our targets majorly are secondary school leavers, like SSC graduates. So those expecting, trying to get admission. Nigeria of today, you just have to have something at hand before moving to higher education, or else you won't have the strength to finish. Some just have to start and won't have the strength to finish. But learning a kind of skill like this will put you in a better position when you get to institution, and at least you have something to fall back to. And there are so many benefits in the course. So if you want to know more about the course, you can call us on 090-3237-2682. 090-3237-2682. Our Lagos office is at number 16 Richard Abimbola Street, Ilasamaja, Lagos. We also have office at Iseyin at Ilado Sagbo Comprehensive, behind Ilado Sagbo Comprehensive High School. That's the Criterion and Medical Home at Iseyin. And also at Ibadan, we have our office there also. So this will be stopping. Thanks so much, the Criterion Cares.